and welcome to Tora Talks Creativity, where I talk about, well, creativity, usually. But today, I'll be talking about my review of SpiritKeeper No Fond Farewells Edition. Actually called Spirit Fair Farewell Edition, but that's okay, we'll get to that later. This review will be broken down into 3 parts. First, highlights of which you may like about the game, art, characters, gameplay, that kind of thing. Second, what I really liked and or disliked about the game. And third, my overall rating based on how much the game healed or destroyed me. Based on this super technical chart right here. So, without further ado, let's start with highlighting what really makes this game absolutely shine. Spiritfarer Farewell Edition is a game where you play as Stella, the Spiritfarer whose job it is to ferry spirits to the beyond. To do this, you have to feed them, hug them, talk to them, and ultimately get to know who they were and what they're leaving behind in life. After doing all these things, the final interaction you have with each of them is taking them to the Everdoor so that they can move on. And actually, this might be the best time to say, I would give this game and this review some trigger warnings as it deals with some heavy topics surrounding grief and illness, listed here. So first thing, this game is gorgeous in my opinion, especially the scenes when you're headed to the Everdoor, the rich red and crimson water with the beautiful white, pink, tan leaves on the trees, and the gorgeous gold and dark brown door in the bridge. It's so pretty. And even the character designs are bold and have such lovely palettes everywhere. And speaking of character designs, they are so cute! Everyone is a different animal or plant, and their designs made it more fun and enjoyable, even with the really hard topics the game spoke about. Even more impressive was the wide range of characters with their personalities and even their ages, which give a very good range of life perspectives, big emotions, how they're displayed, and circumstances from a lot of different angles. So the best highlights of the game are the art, the character designs, and how the topics and story were presented. Honestly, and also the music is really fantastic, so please go listen to it. It's very atmospheric and very fitting for everything and will absolutely get stuck in your head. Anyway, the second thing, what I liked and what I disliked about the game. So for this one, it's actually kind of wrapped up into one for me, and that would be the storytelling. I absolutely loved the storytelling in this game. The topics it deals with are incredibly difficult in many cultures, but it was done with such grace and care. It made the experience of this game beautiful. For example, Summer's story. I absolutely appreciated the descriptions of how her illness was represented and wrapped into the storytelling with the dragon, or snake, I think it's a dragon. And as much of the topic of cancer is an incredibly sore spot for me personally and others, the way the game tells the story about her experience with it kept me engaged and still willing to keep moving through the game. I mean, don't let the entire barrage and deluge of tears of my face fool you. I really did find some catharsis in it and happiness and joy in it too. Now, what I didn't like about it, first and foremost, the absolute emotional damage it gave me. This game absolutely shattered me at least once an episode, which led to some very hilarious moments where Twitch chat was like, I don't know, are we ever going to progress and do the storyline? They've had an exclamation mark for days above their head. And me going, not listening to you. No, can't go to that quest, gotta go. Johnny told me to go to the lighthouse, so we're going to the lighthouse. I didn't hear nothing. Anyway. On a more technical note, the mechanics of some of the side quests were not great for me. That freaking snake and trying to jump and fly, and even had to repeat times at it because it was so hard so many times, and then later they even added a timer to this thing. I need to calm down. But yeah, it's not like the game overall was hard mechanically, especially for most gamers, but that part in particular really got me for some reason as far as being able to actually do it. It definitely could have been that I was using mouse and keyboard, which I don't usually do, and it was a mistake, and I definitely changed that later. But anyway, this is the only portion in the game where I got even close to frustrated with the mechanics. So overall, it was great, but there were definitely parts where, anyway. Overall, though, what I loved begrudgingly loved the story. It was so compelling and beautiful that I kept going through, even with some of the mechanics and then the sad parts. And in fact, the mechanics and grinding elements actually proved to be incredibly useful as the game went on, so I could avoid the emotional heart-tearing parts, the ones that just crushed my soul. Which actually leads me to the third part of this review. Part of this review is my overall rating of the game based on how much emotional damage it caused and or healed in me. Because of my OCD and anxiety, my coping skills tend to lead toward avoidance. So this game, despite its beauty and inventive storytelling, gets the lowest rating, a 15 out of 15 on the payment chart. So let me explain. This chart here is composed of screenshots my lovely, horrible, awesome, beautiful chat has taken of me and sent me over the years. I took them and ordered them into what I call the attainment chart. It's a combination of the D&D alignment chart and the pain scale you see at the doctor's. So the lower numbers, 1, 2, 3, are all the more positive, everything is good, no problems here, faces. And then the other ones are the destruction levels. So even with its gorgeous art, wonderful characters, beautiful storytelling, an absolute banger soundtrack, it gets a 15. Because there were episodes of this game where I had to escort 3 spirits back to back, and it hurt a lot. Was this my own fault for avoiding the plot and doing side missions and fetch quests for hours? Maybe, but still. The amount of crying I did on camera during this game would have kept Kleenex in business. I know I'm tender-hearted and I'll never apologize for it, but damn. Freaking Alice with her memory loss, Stanley with his cute innocence, and even Jackie. He's gross and one of the ones that got me the absolute worst when I took him to the door. So, what is this, developers and storytellers and game developers? How dare you make me love this game and cry so much for months? Anyway. Overall, go play it. It's wonderful and incredibly cathartic. It's beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe found some information useful for yourself. Thank you so much to Johnny Bonk for gifting this beautiful game to me. Thank you to Andy Havoc for editing all the videos. And thank you to Quatos or Q for the Elder Millennial Plays new game theme. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thankfully, next up in Elder Millennial Plays' new game is a very different tone of a game with Dave the Diver. I hope you'll enjoy it. We are live on Thursdays, and these videos come up every 2 weeks on YouTube. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.